Now, Uganda has got a lot of uranium. Some years ago, a Western company came and proposed to mine the uranium. They came here, said they want to mine the uranium. I asked them, mine it and take it where? They said, export it. That was their answer. I asked them, export it for what purposes? They told me, for the purposes of generating nuclear energy, for electricity, and other uses such as medicine, vector control, etc. I then asked them, have you had a rumor that there are some human beings here in Uganda who need electricity, who need nuclear medicine, and who need vector control services? I asked them, you want to take the uranium, but have you had a rumor that there are some human beings here? It's not confirmed that they are there, but could it be a rumor that there are some human beings here?
They have recently discovered commercial oil and gold resources in Uganda. President Museveni won't let their exploitation take place without development agreement that benefits Uganda. For oil, he wants a refinery set up instead of pipeline to the sea.
Why don't you propose to build that capacity here for the benefit of these human beings who live in Uganda? And maybe we can put aside some quantity of uranium for supporting the economies of our friends in the West. After that, after you have addressed my issue, I can also share with you so that you also go and solve yours. But to tell me that you solve my problems and forget yours, I cannot accept that. They never came back. They never came back. So the uranium of Uganda is sleeping in the ground.
Africa's political economy is deeply ingrained with its history of the exploitation and mismanagement of its minerals and natural resources. More than 500 years after commercial exploitation of Africa's resources, Africa continues to host many of the large and unexploited deposits of mineral globally. For example, Africa accounts for 3/4 of the world's platinum supply and half of its diamond and chromium. It has up to 1/50 of gold and uranium supplies, and it is increasingly home to oil and gas production, with 130 countries now in this category. France has come under fire lately for its exploitative relationship with its former colonies. Nigerians are the most recently to oppose any relationship with France, which has continually overexploited the country's natural resources. Former African Union Permanent Representative to the Union States, Dr. Arikana breaks down the history which led to this strained relationship and how France developed a pact with some former colonies to ensure its continued dominance over them. She also explained how those who refused to sign the pact were punished.
What's really worse is when you look at what France did to the Francophone countries in 1958, when they were leaving, quote-unquote, leaving the continent. They gave the Francophone countries two choices. You can be independent with some affiliations to France, or you can be independent with no affiliations to France. Well, Guinea and Mali said, we're done with you, France, goodbye, leave us alone. That's how we had the first ever known union of any African states. They went into those two countries, took everything that they thought they had brought to them. History tells us they even took the last cup, teaspoon, chair, and proceeded to pour concrete into the sewage pipes, completely devastating the two economies, simply because they refused to be affiliated to France. But what they, and also the Sékou Touré, then president of Guinea at that time, he looked at the pact that France was making the Francophone countries sign. It was called the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. He refused to sign it.
How many countries in Africa?
Now we are sitting at 14 Francophone countries that are still held on to this pact. The Francophone countries were told, because we brought you the idea that you can sit at a table and eat with a fork and knife, we brought you tea, we built some roads and told you about going to school, we're going to call that colonial debt. So there's a fee for that, and you need to pay for it. They were also told that you must speak French as your official language, and it must be your language of instruction in schools, and we will be the one to design your educational system. And then also, your money. 85% of your bank reserves, you will keep them, you'll deposit them with the French bank, and we will take that money and invest it in the French stock market, but we don't have to tell you what the returns are on your money. So collectively, all the Francophone countries that signed that pact, their funds, the 85% of their bank reserves are invested
countries,
under French state.